This next one, this comes from a legend, Bob Dylan. Um, if I sound a little hesitant, it's just because we haven't had the best track record with Bob Dylan so far. That's the thing. I like Bob Dylan. I want to make that clear. Like there is songs from Bob Dylan that I do very much enjoy. Murder Most Foul is not one of them. Okay, and that's I know they're like taking away YouTube dislikes where you can't see. I mean, you can still dislike a video, I think, but you can't see the dislikes anymore. But I want to guarantee that reaction is probably my most downvoted. I say downvoted, my most disliked video because I just did not like that song. It was like a 16-minute song, and I just could not get into it. Um, it just wasn't musically interesting to me. But I like Bob Dylan overall, so I'm hoping that this one is a good one. It's Ballad of a Thin Man by Bob Dylan, and I say we just go ahead and jump into it. I don't think this guy needs too much introduction. So here we go. You know, I just don't find Bob Dylan that musically interesting. I think, you know, I've long said, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of more hate for this, and this is probably gonna be my second most disliked video on my channel, but I couldn't get into it, and I've said it before that my favorite Bob Dylan songs are songs that Bob Dylan wrote, and but that other people produced or covered, I should say. So my favorite Bob Dylan songs are songs that Bob Dylan wrote, but other people covered. So All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix is a perfect example. Like Jimmy's version is so much better. I think Peter, Paul, and Mary cover a couple of his songs, and they do an amazing job with it. It's just every song that I've heard. Rage Against the Machine covers Bob Dylan, and I love their take on it more than I like Bob Dylan's take. So it's just like every artist that I've heard cover Bob Dylan, I've liked the cover more than I've liked the original. And so with that said, I feel like I would like this song so much more if someone else did it, because I feel like someone else could take this and really make it into a really cool like blues rock song. And I think Glory kind of hit the nail on the head. Glory says, "I just wish his stuff was more condensed or more varied," and that's kind of how I feel too. Like it was a nice little ditty, but I feel like it just needed more. It needed to mix things up a little bit more. I mean, for 6 minutes, it was just kind of the same thing over and over and over. So it's just like, I feel like if he really leaned into like the hard bluesy rock, this could have been a really enjoyable song. So I would love to hear someone else kind of take this particular song and run with it, because I feel like it has the pieces of a really great song, but man, I'm just not into it. I'm just not into it. And I completely agree with you, Glory, that yeah, it'll sound good for a little bit. Like there were definitely parts of this song I liked, but man, it just it goes on too long, and that was my biggest complaint with Murder Most Foul. If you took that song and took it from 16 minutes to like a 2 or 3 minute song, it's that much more enjoyable. I could have easily listened to that song. If you trim this song down to 2 or 3 minutes, it's a great song. I have no problem with it. But to have it go on for 6 minutes or 10 minutes or 16 minutes is just it's not enjoyable. I don't know. So I will say the one thing I really like about Bob Dylan is his lyricism. I think everyone can kind of stand by his lyricism for the most part. And like I said, it's a reason why I think covers of his work are so good, because he writes very solid lyrics and his composition's not terrible. It's just, man, it's not for me, I guess. So anyway, let's break it down a little bit further. It says, while speculations remain rampant as to who Mr. Jones is and what exactly the song is supposed to mean, there is no definitive answer at this time. The closest thing we've seen to an answer from Dylan himself appears in an interview given to Keys to the Rain, the definitive Bob Dylan encyclopedia, where Dylan asserts that the Mr. Jones in question is a real person not known by this name, who is a pin boy, wears suspenders, and puts his eyes in his pockets, which might mean that he wears glasses. Dylan said somewhere else that his name was Jones, but if he said his first name, he would get sued. During concerts in 1966, he used to say, "This is a song about people asking me questions," when playing the song. The Dylan biopic, I'm Not There, includes a music video which paints a good image of what Mr. Jones may be like. What is known about the song is that the rhythmic piano part was inspired by Ray Charles' 1961 song, I Believe to My Soul, from the Genius Sings the Blues, an album released 4 years earlier. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. I don't even want to necessarily break down the whole lyrics. I will just say that there were a couple times where I was like, okay, that was a kind of an interesting line. I think one that stuck out to me, I don't remember exactly what he said, but it was something about like, here it is. But nobody has any respect anyway. They already expect you to all give a check to tax-deductible charity organizations. I was like, okay, that's kind of some interesting writing, I guess. So, I think it was fine lyrically. I give it a thumb up. I think lyrically, that's the best thing I can say about it, is that it had interesting lyrics. Vocally, I've never really been a fan of Bob Dylan's vocal style, although I didn't hate it here, weirdly enough. I just wish, it was more interesting. Instrumentally, again, I enjoyed maybe a minute or two of this song before the repetitiveness just sort of got in the way of my enjoyment. I feel like, again, if a more maybe competent band, I hate to say that, but a band took this and made it into just a full-on like blues rock song, like full of little guitar solos and really cool guitar licks. Like this could be a really, really enjoyable song, but as it stands right now, I wasn't into it. So I give it a thumb down for instrumentation and vocals. As far as replay value goes, I don't think I'm going to listen to this song again unless somebody forces me to. So I give it a thumb down for that as well. I hate to be so negative, but I did not enjoy this song, and that just is how it is. And I pride myself on being honest, so I just have to honestly tell you I did not enjoy it. So, oh yeah, I think the Black Keys could do a great cover of this song. I think what was that band that did Marriage of Coyote Woman? Was it all them witches? I think they could do a badass cover of this song. Like there are definitely some artists out here who I think could really do this song justice, but that artist is not Bob Dylan. So thumb down. I didn't really enjoy it. Regardless, thank you for the request. I at least appreciate you giving me another shot. Whoever requested it, giving me another shot with Bob Dylan. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'm looking for something that Bob Dylan doesn't scratch that itch for me. So.